Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. This is hopefully going to be the start of my solo adventure this summer. So I am just about pulling into RB Marine after my traditional 6-hour drive to get here. I'm on my own for this trip. Joe and Skylar will be joining me in a few weeks time, but unfortunately Joe's got to work, so she can't be with me for the entire of this summer. So for the first few weeks it's going to be just me alone. Now it's about 3 weeks since the shakedown trip, which hopefully you'll have seen some videos about in the last few weeks. And since then we left the boat on a mooring at RB Marine. And I got to be honest with you, I'm not feeling particularly, or I'm feeling very nervous about this whole thing. I mean, I know it's perfectly normal and natural to leave boats on moorings, and in many ways people probably say they're better off left in the water than on the hard. But it's quite a new experience for me to just sort of tie my boat to a rope in the middle of a lock and kind of just disappear for weeks on end and just kind of hope and assume it's still going to be there when I get back. So we're going to be pulling in any minute, so I guess I'll find out. Good news is the weather is absolutely beautiful this evening. It's blue sky, there's very little wind, the sea is like a mill pond out there, you know, which compared to the horrific weather on our shakedown trip is quite a relief. And I'm just hoping that this is the start of a glorious summer, or at least a glorious couple of months of sailing for us. So right, can't put it off any longer. Let's head on into the marina and see if Hattrick's still there. Okay, brief stop off to grab the dinghy. I was hoping to launch on the beach, but the tide is so low right now that it's all mud at the bottom. I don't really fancy it, so right now I've just stuffed the dinghy on the roof of the van and we'll go in off the pontoon. And I'm just driving down the pier and through the hole in the pier over there, which you probably can't make out on the GoPro. I think I can actually see Hattrick, which, well, I mean, that's the first test that she's A, still there, and B, is still on the surface. So at least we know, well, I'm pretty sure that was Hattrick. It's hard to tell through all the other stuff, but at least we kind of know that she still exists. Stop here, and because we can actually go and have a look and see how she looks from here. I'm going to take my phone because Joe's going to want to see a photo as well. I see, beautiful day. Right, look at the water, it's looking so beautiful out there. I was wondering if I'd put her on the wrong mooring, to be honest, so I wasn't going to be that surprised if they'd moved her, but that would be a bit of a panic until I figured out where she was. But there she is, and well, looking at her from here, she's there. She's probably concern number one. Concern number two was that she might sink. I know E-TAPs are unsinkable, but that doesn't mean they can't try to sink. Okay, well, that's phase one solved. So now let's get the dinghy in, get it sorted, and we'll start ferrying some stuff to the boat. Okay, I got the first load, and it's even so warm that I managed to take my jumper off for the first time this year. Right, so we're going to head out to the boat now and see if she looks as good close up as she does from afar. Right, I'm really glad I got this electric motor because I'm probably going to have to make a few trips. So, can't believe how, like, I don't know, you probably can't tell in the background how low the tide is, but if it's any lower, I'll be able to walk to the boat. Right, onwards. All on deck looks okay. We took the spray hood down partly just so she get a bit less wind while she was here, but also because just before we were about to leave, a seagull took a giant poop on it, so I took it home and gave it a proper clean. Right, so final question. What's it look like inside the cabin? Well, I can't see any water, so that's a good sign. We put all the cushions up on here just to try and keep them from getting damp, but looks of it, she's actually pretty good. Batteries are flat, but I kind of figured they would be. But yeah, so far so good. She's floating. She smells and feels dry. No water in the bilges that I can see. Right, well, I've got to go back and forth about a million times to bring the rest of the stuff on board. Okay, so I've done a couple of trips back and forth. The boat is seemingly good. I've done some unpacking, which is nice, and I've actually fired up the engine. Just mainly to make sure it works. We had a little bit of scale on the last trip, so it wasn't a guarantee. So yeah, I couldn't be happier really in terms of how I found her. My panic and nerves were unfounded. Well, totally unfounded. Well, not founded in this case. And it's really beautiful. I was kind of worried I was going to get up here, it was going to be raining and miserable, and I was going to be going back and forth, getting soaked, and everything's going to get wet. But as it is, everything's beautiful, dry, everything's lovely. So one more ferrying trip, and then we can hopefully chill out for the evening. Well, good morning. It's another slightly overcast, but very calm and quite warm day. So plan for today, I've got a few jobs to do before I can kind of set off on my solo adventure. Mainly, or the most important one that I really do want to get done, is there's currently no sort of safety lines on the boat, and I do have my clip-in safety line thing, so there's nowhere to really attach that to at the moment, and I think going solo sailing I should be clipped in, at least most of the time. First thing, I've got a couple of these, that makes sense when I fit them, things that I want to fit in the cockpit are kind of just like folding eyes that I can clip into. And then somewhere I also have a load of this webbing strapping, which I'm going to run along the roof of the saloon, and then I can clip onto that if I need to go forward to mess with sails, things like that. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, so it's a bit of figuring out to do. Right, okay, so I have the straps kind of fitted. So like I say, the benefit of what I've done here is that I haven't had to drill anything, I haven't had to make any major changes. I've just used existing stuff on the deck, so I can kind of see how it goes, and if I need to change it later, no big drama. I haven't made a load of holes and mess of the deck, but yeah, so basically I got it tied onto the sort of side here, which should be pretty strong. Clip onto that and turn around, and in theory, yeah, it will clip, it will slide along quite nicely. So we're getting towards the end of the day. It's been a pretty productive day, I think. I've got my there, you've got my safety straps on. I've also got my safety eyes in the cockpit. I've installed the last bit of the auto tiller autopilot thing, so that's ready, and I've rewired that. I had to run a new cable for that. I've done lots of other little bits of sort of tidying up. I figured out the head sail needed a new shackle for the bottom of it, put in a new little rope baggy thing just so that it can tidy things up a little bit in here. I filled up my water bottles. I've still got to fill the water tank, but no, there's no way to take it to shore to get to fill the water tank, so I'll have to go to a marina and do that. Got the engine running at the moment. You can probably hear, just to top up the batteries and cool down the fridge, because my batteries are rubbish and they're going to need replacing immediately. But the battery I need to replace it with is on a ship from China apparently, or from Vietnam I think actually, so I'm waiting for that to come in. Yeah, so we're actually making pretty good progress. I'll go inside, see if oh yeah, I've also installed new LED lighting in there because it had an old fluorescent crappy tubey one, and one in the bathroom, so we've actually got a light in the bathroom now. Yeah, so I think I'm getting there. I've just been tidying up the last 10 minutes, but yeah, I think that's probably going to about do it. This is a sort of introductory episode to this trip, so a lot of little bits of housekeeping and jobs to get done. My hope is to throw off the lines tomorrow and go somewhere else. Haven't 100% decided where I'm going. Maybe Holy Lock, which is only a few hours, or 2-3 hours from here, if I'm not feeling brave. If I'm feeling brave and the weather's good, then I might go down to Butte and go to more Bannatyne maybe, or if it's nice I might go up to sort of north of Butte and anchor there, but that'll have to wait for the next episode. So yeah, say stop by for that if you want to find out how this solo adventure goes. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. I want to thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope you're going to come along with me for my little journey here, but most of all, guys, I hope I'll see you in the next one.